In the misty depths of Duskwood, a sinister whisper had been carried on the cold winds for weeks. The villagers of Darkshire spoke in hushed tones of a growing shadow, a malevolent force that not only took lives but also robbed the souls of the unwary. Fear gripped the hearts of all, but amidst this despair, a band of adventurers came together, determined to uncover and end the source of the terror. The group was as diverse as Azeroth itself. Melis, a night elf priestess guided by the light of Elune, was the spiritual anchor. Therak, an orc warrior from the Barrens, sought honor and glory. Joran, a gnome engineer, wielded his brilliant mind and an arsenal of inventive gadgets. Finally, there was Kelwyn, a human mage whose motivations were as enigmatic as his dark past. Their investigation began in Darkshire, where the townsfolk shared harrowing tales, glowing eyes in the woods, muffled screams piercing the night, and the heart-wrenching disappearance of children. The local priest recounted an ancient legend, one that sent shivers down their spines. The Eclipsed soul was once a sacred artifact crafted to purify tormented spirits, the priest explained. But in the wrong hands, it becomes a weapon of unimaginable power, capable of trapping souls to fuel dark magic. With this knowledge, the adventurers ventured into the forest. Their footsteps crunched on frozen leaves, the air growing colder with each step into the heart of darkness. Nightfall deepened the forest's oppressive atmosphere. Glowing eyes peered from shadowed underbrush, and the whispers became cries of anguish, as if the trees themselves mourned the stolen souls. Melis illuminated their path with Elune's light, but even her divine glow seemed fragile against the encroaching malevolence. They soon discovered ancient stones marked with cryptic runes, forming a circle around a blackened altar. Kelwyn's keen intellect deciphered the carvings. Here lies the power of the Eclipsed soul, sealed by the guardians of eternal shadow. A sinister laugh echoed through the clearing, chilling the group to their core. Emerging from the shadows was Morgoth, a fallen necromancer once expelled from the Kirin Tor, now intent on using the artifact to dominate Azeroth. Morgoth raised his hands, summoning monstrous shadow creatures to defend his domain. The air grew dense with malice as wolf-like phantoms lunged at the adventurers. Therak roared and charged, his massive axe cleaving through the spectral beasts. Melis called upon Elune's blessing, her prayers both healing her allies and repelling the shadowy onslaught. Joran's ingenuity came to the fore as he activated a device of his own design, a light bomb that exploded in a blinding flash. The clearing lit up like day, scattering the darkness and revealing the cursed altar. Seizing the moment, Kelwyn enveloped the group in a protective barrier before focusing his arcane energy on Morgoth. The battle raged with unrelenting ferocity. Therak sustained venomous wounds from a shadow beast's claws, while Melis, drained from her constant efforts, staggered but did not falter. Joran hurled his last grenade, its fiery blast creating an opening for Kelwyn. Drawing upon Forbidden's magic, the mage shattered Morgoth's protective wards, exposing him to their combined assault. As Melis approached the Eclipsed soul, she tried to channel Elune's light to cleanse the artifact. But Morgoth, in a final act of desperation, unleashed a wave of dark energy that knocked the adventurers to the ground. Kelwyn rose shakily to his feet. His eyes gleamed with an eerie blue light as he began chanting in a language lost to time. A spectral flame erupted from his hands, engulfing Morgoth in a consuming inferno that silenced his dark magic. The Eclipsed soul stabilized, its chaotic energy subdued, but the effort came at a steep cost. Kelwyn collapsed, his body lifeless but his face serene, a faint smile playing on his lips. "It's over," he whispered, his voice barely audible before the light in his eyes faded. Returning to Darkshire, the adventurers entrusted the eclipsed soul to the local priest, who performed a purification ritual to seal its power permanently. The artifact, now harmless, was placed in the chapel as a reminder of the darkness they had vanquished. Kelwyn was laid to rest with great honor. A simple epitaph marked his grave. He faced the shadows to bring light. The group disbanded, each adventurer returning to their own path. Yet they all carried with them the memory of their journey and the bond they had forged. In the deepest reaches of Azeroth, where darkness still lingers, their courage lit a beacon of hope. Months later, rumors began to spread in Azeroth of strange occurrences tied to the eclipsed soul. Some claimed to hear faint whispers when standing near its resting place. Others spoke of fleeting visions of Kelwyn, standing vigil over the artifact as if his soul remained tethered to its fate. For Melis, the experience deepened her faith in Elune, and she dedicated herself to protecting Azeroth's sacred relics. Therak returned to the Barrens, his scars a badge of honor among his kin. Joran, ever the tinker, began crafting devices inspired by their battle, determined to arm future adventurers against the darkness. Their paths might have diverged, but the shadow of their quest lingered, a reminder that Azeroth's greatest battles are often fought not for glory, but for the preservation of hope and light.